Hey everybody, welcome back to Darksiders. I'm Neg Primer, and we are heading into the Twilight Cathedral. So this is actually going to be a re-recording, as I've already done this. I played through this part and then ended up losing the video. And fortunately I had remembered to save at this point, so I didn't actually lose anything. I didn't have to replay through the game to this point again or anything like that. Which is always a good thing. I was kind of concerned that I would have to be doing that. But the last time I was doing this... Last time I was doing this, ran into a slew of problems, and I came to find out that two of the fans in my PC were no longer working. Not entirely sure how it happened, but just a cord got knocked loose. Probably my dog slept into it. So I do want to point out something here before I head into this little section. There's no real identifying marks over this. I think the first time I played through this game I actually had a hard time finding this. Oh yeah, I forgot you can actually grab signs. This is a Vulgrim location. Usually he has little hanging things all over the place. This one you kind of are just expected to walk up to them. So we're gonna basically just mimic what I did last time. I got this Weapon Master and I applied it to my scythe and I started leveling up that. I don't remember all the specifics of what I did in the past. I think I got Harpoon Tackle.
Let me know if I can help
level 2. Hit frequency, range, damage. I like damage. That's block counter though. I haven't really been doing that.
Nice sword. Nice sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna just straight up do the exact same thing I did last time. Maybe it's not super creative. I'm not being original. I'm ripping myself off that you guys didn't see, but there we go. So yeah, I did go over this a little bit. You can see the progression here a bit. The scythe here, you have 4 icons right above it. Those are unfilled. Yep. Over here on my Chaos Eater, my sword, the first one is filled out. Those are representative of the level of the weapon, so the more of those you fill out, the stronger the weapon gets. So this is basically level 1, level 0, or level 2 and level 1, if that's your preference. And there's also this little bar underneath it, that the little orange bar that's sticking out on the scythe in particular. That is the experience of the weapon. So each weapon has its own experience. And you can also see there is a 3rd weapon slot that I do not yet have filled. But okay. So in the past I've mentioned a lot that this game is a lot like Zelda. Really alluded to it, and I think I flat out stated it a couple times. And this is really where the game... Yeah, I know. This is really where the game picks up, because this is the first dungeon. It's also really interesting that you pull that out. So this... I'll show you what this is in a second. But you can see it replaces my sword. What happened to my other sword? I don't really know. But... All that is it's basically a key. And then once we do that, my sword is back. Very weird decision on their part. I don't know why they did a swap there. And that is Tiamat, the big one, obviously. It's Tiamat fighting the Griffin, which is probably actually our Griffin mount, which is trying to get away from her. She is not having that. Alright, so if we're going with Zelda, this is kind of our main room. Camera there detaches to show us what's important here. And it's that thing right there. We got more bats in here. There's just bats all over the place. So, one thing I didn't find the last time I was here, earlier in the game, in the crossroads, I got a Horde Seeker. Last time I was here, I didn't find that. So I might try to actually find that. But it's entirely possible that I might not be able to get that until I come back once I'm more powered. But I do have a little bit of benefits over last time, where I have recently played this. So that door on the other side is locked. This door is not. You can see it doesn't have the bars out in front of it. It just has the little holders. And it's also green on my mini-map. Yeah. I said they detach the camera to show what's important. I'm also going to be using my sight to try to level that up while we're in here. So yeah, as I level this up, it'll get more and more powerful, so that I don't have to. It doesn't take as much to kill these guys, because these are just, even at this point, they're kind of just trash mobs. But it's a bit grindy. That's one of the things they actually changed quite a bit in the second game. It's not nearly as grindy as this. You kind of just... When an enemy's easy, they're easy. And you kill them fairly quickly. You don't have to sit there and pound away on them for a while. So as I've said in the past, this is probably one of my favorite games of the past 5 years or so. I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm not saying everybody will enjoy it. I like it because of its flaws, not really even in spite of them. I guess there are a few flaws that I like this game in spite of. So we've seen these doors in the past. I need a dagger key, whatever it's called, in order to get past that. And then, so bomb growth. You may remember from Legend of Zelda. Do I need that? No, I don't. So yeah, these are all just health. If it has a little black swirly around it, it has more to it. Basically, I don't need that. These things are like the bomb plants in Zelda. There's a lot of noise happening all around me right now. I think I know what it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be Tiamat and the Griffin fighting still. But as we open this, we get life essence. Yay, life essence. Maybe that's just the lightning hitting the building is all that was. Yeah, it looks like maybe. Up there is actually where we're going to fight Tiamat eventually. And if I grab this, you can see why. Yay, so we found the map. So this is our dungeon map. So this is our current level. This is basically the interior of the building. We are located down here. And then there are multiple levels. So if you go up, the only thing up from where we are is where we fight Tiamat. In order to do that, we'll need to get through this door on the other side. You can see there's also this tunnel right here is all underground. Then you have all of this that is also underground. And even just a little bit extra, just in case that wasn't quite enough. So this is a fairly substantial dungeon. I just realized, okay. It's really interesting to me because you get, oh, I'm not going to spoil it. But basically there's an item that we get in here that we then throw at this. And that will get us over to the Horde Seeker, presumably, is what's in there. But so we kicked that down and made a hole in the ground. We will need to go in there. But before that, we're going to come in here and take a look around. And grab these souls. So this right here is that big ugly thing. Reminds me a lot of the ceiling grabber things from Half-Life. Should remind you of that too. But we also over there have one of the bomb plants. And what we need to do is hit this thing with the bomb. So we need to get around to the other side. We can't just fly across here. And in order to do that, we have a really kind of roundabout path to take. And yeah, we can't set this off until after we get that item. Which is really interesting, because I don't think after we get that item we come back upstairs until quite a ways into the game. But so this is our first little underground area. Oops. Took my hand off the rest of the controller for 1 second. Starts to go off course. But so, I get the impression that this is supposed to be kind of a crypt. And it's really interesting. I discussed this a lot last time I was here. It's really interesting that it's, by comparison to a lot of other areas of the game, it's not really as like dank or creepy. Like the cemetery is a lot creepier. But in general, Joe Madden's art style, so the lead artist for this game, his art style doesn't really allow for a creepy factor at all. Jerks. I like his art style a lot, but there's really no way to describe it other than way over the top and hard to take serious. I mean, extremely talented artist. I really like his stuff, but yeah, it's not really emotional or anything like that. It's just something you look at and you go, oh, that looks really good, and that's the extent of it. So these guys do block, you'll notice. I'm not sure if I talked about this in the video you watched, but they come up with those little white circles. That means they're blocking. Yeah. I don't really care. Should tell you how effective those are. Beholder's key. Okay. Because Eye of the Beholder. So we will actually be back here later. We'll come through here and go into here. But that won't be for quite a while still. But it is a little interesting switchback they have later on. And like I said, I'm trying to level this up, so I'm just gonna pound away at them. And I didn't grab that when I came down. So yeah, when Death does this, he's a lot smoother. In some of the dev diaries and stuff they did for this game, for the second game, they mentioned that they wanted each horseman to fill you. And War is more of a tank. He can take a lot of damage. Supposedly, he can take a lot of damage, but he's kind of slow. He rather than generally hitting, sending out a bunch of hits, he goes for heavy attacks. And I feel like a lot of this is for lore than anything else. But it is stuff that they probably wanted to enact. Because they wanted to make a game. They didn't want to make a 4-player game out of this. And it's a shame they never got that opportunity. I would have really liked to see that. But neither this nor the second one sold enough. Well, that's not entirely true. This did not sell enough. The second one didn't sell enough to save THQ. I think I've said this in the past. Okay, so this is a new guy for you guys. So this guy, you can see he's not really even registering my attacks. That's because he's got all this armor on. This guy's supposed to be a lot harder, but like I said, I just played through this whole area, so I fought several of these guys fairly recently. Eventually we'll get to the point. By the time we're through with this, we'll get back to the point where this is difficult again. So we got that. We'll go ahead and grab this sword as well, which again replaces my Chaos Eater, which is a weird choice. I guess they did that so that you'd have it just on me that I'm carrying that around, so I can keep track of that. But it is weird that they get rid of my other sword in addition to that.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, I know, I'm going. Mark Hamill is so patient. That's why Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are dead. So now we'll put the sword in over here. Chunk. Whoa! Oh my god, what is going on here? That Griffin is putting up a hell of a fight. I mean, this has been going on. And I don't want to forget about this. I forgot about this last time and only discovered it later on. And I think I ended up just dropping the ball entirely. Ugh, I hate aiming this thing. So this, see how this has a black swirl around it? That means that instead of just being health, it's an actual lifestone shard. Ooh, so if I collect one more of those, I will have more health. See, this thing would grab me if I didn't do that. It's a jerk like that. See, and now I gotta fight that guy and 3 of these little guys. And I talked about this in the last video. One of the major problems with this game is this: that we're in the middle of a fight, and it comes up with this, and it's like, okay, that's great to know, but I wish they had come up with a less intrusive way to do that. Ah, these guys are jerks. Because you think they're safe, and you're like, oh no wait, you attacked twice there. But interestingly enough, he doesn't really seem to be... Oh shoot. Okay, he did a good deal of damage there. So yeah, we did level up our scythe, so it's going to do a bit more damage from here on out. Yeah. Okay. So in here, we have a couple of things going on. First and foremost, there's this. Hint, that's going to be something we'll use. But if you look over here, there's 2 chests down here, and you can't really see it all that well from down here, but there's another one up top. I cannot fly across that at this point. I also cannot use this to fly across that. My wings are not indefinite. They will, after a short period of time, cut out entirely. I do, however, want this. It's a champion artifact. I believe it's worth 1,000 souls to pull from, rather than just 500. But yeah, now you can see that other chest on top. We will want to go get those eventually, because they will actually give us a great benefit to our character. And I just realized I did all of that, and then I completely forgot to actually... I did blow a hole in that wall down there, and then completely forgot to actually go through the hole. I wish the camera was a little bit better in this game. This is actually going to be a complaint you'll probably will hear from me a lot. The reason for that, the reason a lot of games don't have a great camera is because... Oh, I did go through here. What am I talking about? Is because camera logic is really, really hard. It seems like a really simple thing, and such an important thing that we'd spend a lot of time on it, but it's one of those things like physics, and yes, physics, that we don't really know all that much about. And you'll see this guy right here. If I try to go through that door, he'll gobble me up. So the way we get those 3 treasure chests that are in there is I have to get past that guy. Which there's a method to that. And I'm gonna just keep wailing on people with my scythe. I should probably actually be trying to switch it up a bit. You can see I leveled up my scythe down there, and that's how much XP I have in it now. It's just that tiny, tiny little sliver. But yay, so we're finally to where we were at the beginning. So we dropped that. Remember when we first came into that room, it showed us, hey, do this, do this. And then fall. So we jump in the hole we just made. I don't think there's any kinds of invisible walls or anything in this game, but you never know. It has been a while since I've played it. There's gonna be a couple cool goodies down here. It looks like we're gonna end. It looks like I actually didn't trim off any time for my last round of this, even though I knew exactly where to go and what to do this time. We'll see. But yes. This does not look like a trap at all. There's just random health here in a wide open space for no reason. This is basically a treasure chest as well. So we got the glaive, aka the boomerang. Oh, they call it the crossblade. But yes, I can target with it. Which actually the targeting doesn't work super well on these guys. Because the way to really kill them is to charge it up and then let it spin on top of them. And then they're also going to introduce me, so that was a new enemy type there, the fire bat. Kind of new. Essentially just the same as the bat. Just on fire, so I can't grab it, I don't think. I guess I haven't really tried. But here we have a new enemy type. I don't know the names of any of these enemies. I don't know if it's actually called a fire bat or something more clever than that. This guy is kind of a zombie thing. Not particularly difficult, but kind of dick. That little green cloud is poison. So he hits me with it and then poisons me. And oh, that's interesting. Those guys usually explode when they die. But alright, I did actually seem to shave a couple of minutes off here, not a ton. And then this is actually the first time it tells us how to call the Watcher at will. You will.
Throw that fancy saw blade around a bit. Maybe you can find a way out of here.
But alright, this is where we called it off last time, and this is going to be where we call it off again this time. So thanks for tuning in to this episode, and when we come back, we will continue the Twilight Cathedral. Thanks for watching, everybody.